What's up, y'all? Welcome back. So it is another day here in Buenos Aires. It is Thursday, which means Syed and I just finished our classes for the week, which is huge because we have one more week next week, which is bittersweet because I don't want to leave the warmth of this place, and I don't know, I really like being here. But on the flip side, we have like presentations and finals and exams, and I'm just so over all the schoolwork. But anyways, I had to make a choice today, which I just made. Behind this billboard, there's like pros and cons. It doesn't matter. But basically, I had to make a choice to either do my internship in New York City under corporate and investment banking with JP Morgan, or pursue this opportunity that I got to spend my entire summer in Russia through the government department with my school. And so I weighed out the pros and cons for both. Some of the big pros for my internship was the amount that I would be paid, and I'm just, for the purposes of being, what's the word called? Transparent, perhaps? The internship was gonna pay me about $20,000 before taxes, including my bonus and my hourly pay. And JP Morgan's like a pretty big, well-known bank in New York, so if I wanted to get a job anywhere after graduation, it would have helped me out significantly. So I basically had to either choose between $20K in credentials, potentially full-time employment, or pursuing Russia, which in theory doesn't give me a whole lot of concreteness. I mean, the big pros to Russia that I've later listed out is that it's just going to be a great experience to know exactly what is going on in the Eastern Hemisphere, one of the most powerful countries. I mean, they're bordering China, which is a whole nother topic. But being able to live in Russia for 3 months, especially at this day and age in 2020, when there's a lot of contentious issues and really fragile relations, I feel like for the most part, between the US and Russia, and also historically, I think it's just something that's super interesting to me and something that I would absolutely love to do, maybe learn some Russian as well. And then I really like the professor who's teaching the class. And also, I want to apply to really competitive fellowships later this fall. The applications open mid-July, and they're all very public service oriented. So there's two problems with JP Morgan. The first one is that one, I don't feel any sort of actual inclination towards doing it. And two, it's not public service at all. Like I'm going to learn about world markets and make money and stuff, which that's not to say it can't have a translation to public service, but it's not directly within that whole guiding principles that I've managed to live my life through up to this point. And so after making this list, I have ultimately decided to turn down my internship and go to Russia because I just feel like you can't really put a price tag on experiences, and even though the opportunity cost of $20K is quite a lot of money, I think in the grand scheme of things, it won't actually matter. That being said, I do feel like, I don't know, this is just so conflicting for me because so many people at like my school and like the culture of like elite colleges and especially like other Ivy League schools, like people focus on just getting like an internship in like Wall Street in New York, and it's like investment banking is like the pinnacle of everything. And for me to like have this opportunity at one of like the most, the most well-known banks, and then to turn that down, I don't know, like I personally don't have a personal problem with doing that, but the way in which this is like viewed by like my peers and stuff, it's just kind of like, bro, why would you do that? Like you're crazy. And like I know like it doesn't actually matter in reality, but it still makes me like, it's still something to think about. I think I felt very similarly late last year when I decided to not go to Columbia and stay at Dartmouth. And granted, like they're both amazing schools and they both offer you a lot, but I think to a lot of people, just like the name of Columbia and like world's like reputation and everything, versus Dartmouth, which not like if you know, you know, but otherwise, on a world scale, not many people know Dartmouth. Again, I didn't care about that personally, but the way in which like other people perceive my decisions are just kind of like, oh, are you crazy? And so it just, I don't know. it makes me feel like, am I making the right choice here? Like there might be a reason why it's so hard to get these things, and I'm getting them, and then I'm turning them down, and theoretically I'm turning them down for something better, or at least something that's more in line with what I want to do in my personal life, which ultimately is all that matters. And so I guess the purpose of this video, for anyone who has a difficult choice between two choices that perhaps are both great and you can't really go wrong, I would encourage you to ultimately follow what you want to do and what you feel most inclined to, cutting out all this noise aside. I think if I had to let all this noise in, I would definitely have gone to Columbia. I would have definitely, taken this investment banking job. But since I am practicing to listen to myself instead of listening to the world, I decided to stay at Dartmouth, and I'm here in Buenos Aires because of Dartmouth, and I'm going to go to Russia because of Dartmouth, and I've just been having a great time. So up to this point, I'm very happy with the choices I've made, and I think that the choices I will make in the future will always be aligned with what I truly believe is best. And it's hard, and it's definitely a practice, and it's very easy to let outside influences get to your own personal thought-making process. But once again, if you're making a tough choice, if there's anything I can say, is just listen to yourself, trust yourself, because at the end of the day, you'll have to live with the choices you make, and whether you make one or the other, I just want to make sure you're happy with what you make, and I will be happy with what I'm going to make. So now I'm just going to hit commit to Russia, and it's a done deal. My professor's going to be super happy. He's been emailing me to let him know. And this is me letting him know. Anyways, until next time.